So initially I was a bit skeptical and because the fellows, 2009 fellows had told me that summer school experience is slightly different from what you see in your placement schools. So I was like hoping for nothing actually, but at the same time I was kind of nervous. So my first day at school was pretty kind of scaring, seeing 61 kids in front of you, and when you interact with them and ask their names and you're not able to even remember their names. So sometimes it's kind of hilarious, but at the same time sometimes it's depressing because they don't understand what you're speaking, and we are constantly speaking English, and their literacy levels are so low despite the fact they are in third grade. So it has been both a roller coaster ride. So some days are really high, some days are really low. So initially the first 2 months were a roller coaster ride, as I said. So it's a very rigorous training. It's a 5-week summer institute, and so a typical day starts by waking up at 6 o'clock or 5:30 even, and we sleep around 1 a.m. at the night. So we have a day full of trainings, and then we have an experiential learning experience. That is, we go to summer school and teach, and our LDOs observe us and give us feedback and help us to improve. Then we have sessions after that, after we come back from summer school, and then we have again sessions with our LDOs. So they give us feedback, and then we lesson plan for the next day. So that's a typical day at summer school, and it's pretty taxing, but at the same time it's fulfilling, So that also, Teach For India continuously supports us through trainings. So we have training once in a week at least, and through those trainings they actually ask us feedback, so what is happening actually in the school, and then they give training according to that, and that training actually helps a lot. You can implement those strategies in your classroom, and it helps a lot. And when you carry out those strategies in the classroom, you see them working, you get more confidence, and as the confidence builds and you see the kids are learning, that helps a lot. So for example, a classroom management strategy. So if we have a training for classroom management and they give us some ideas for classroom management, maybe discipline tracker, maybe following a discipline tracker, or maybe having some chants to grab the attention of the class when they are making noise. So those kind of strategies, when we implement them in the class and when they work, we feel really happy, and that gives us